Sample.
My name is Nana Yewentwi. Coming up in the bulletin. Minority MP to haul Minister for Health to Parliament over claims of government's plan to purchase of Sputnik V vaccine through middlemen and other irregular sources. We'll hear from a coalition in NGO on health.
In the third episode of our Galamsey Impact series, we hear from a distraught family whose 13-year-old daughter perished together with two others after a mining pit caved in at Breman Brofuyedru in the central region.
In business, pistol producers lament over the introduction of the fufu pounding machine, which they say is negatively driving them out of business.
In the world of sports, European Football Championship is underway. We will bring you updates in the opening match between Italy and Turkey.
On the international front, G-Summit comments on Cornwall with UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson urging fellow leaders to build a better world as the world recovers from the COVID pandemic this year. Thank you very much for staying with us. Now to our first story. The Minority Caucus in Parliament is calling on government to immediately abrogate and refrain from purchasing the Russian-made Sputnik V vaccine through middlemen and other irregular sources. The ranking member of Parliament and Select Committee on Health, Kwabena Minta Akendo, while addressing the media, said his outfit will hold the Minister of Health to provide details on the controversial deal which the minority insists is shrouded in secrecy. Metro News' Abdullah Muhammad was at a briefing and he has the rest of the story.
A Norwegian news tabloid earlier this week reported that Ghana has made a request to purchase 3.4 million doses of Russian-made Sputnik V vaccine through middlemen at an oversized cost of $19 per dose instead of $10 per dose on the international market.
It was the Ministry of Finance. So we were granted an interview with the Ministry of Finance in which they confirmed that they had been buying the vaccines at a price of $19 per dose. It should be noted, though, that though the initial deal said 3.4 million doses, that has later been reduced. The Finance Minister now says that Ghana has agreed to pay for 300,000 doses and they have an option on another 1 million doses. But he sees that as a backup plan if other contingencies, such as the Johnson & Johnson vaccines, were not to be delivered.
Chairman of the Health Committee of Parliament, Dr. Ayu Efriye, subsequently justified government's decision to opt for the controversial quotation, citing shortage of vaccine on the international market and a third wave of COVID-19 infections in part of Europe as possible reasons for the surge in the cost of the vaccine.
Now, unlike the AstraZeneca, which is more of the government-to-government system, the Russians use more of middlemen or third parties to be able to do transactions. So what the ministries or governments do is to express interest or give you letters of authorization, and then you go ahead to strike a deal with them. So as far as it is, about 7 companies have letters and various prices ranging between $12 to $19. So if the impression is created as if it is one company and it is created as if it is 19, the other question then is that what happens to the other people who quoted 12, those who quoted lower than $19, and who for some reason all of them have not been able to deliver?
The Health Ministry, through a statement, also explained that government had to resort to the option because there was scarcity of the vaccine on the market and the information from COVAX that the AstraZeneca vaccines promised Ghana will not arrive till the end of June 2021. Ranking member of Parliamentary Select Committee on Health, Kwabena Minta Akando, says there is a clear attempt to milk the nation.
All indications surrounding this deal points to an attempt to rip off the Ghanaian taxpayer and maximize profit for some private individuals in government and their foreign partners. The AU bought 300 million doses of Sputnik V for $9.75 per dose. Slovakia and Hungary, which are much smaller countries than Ghana and in need of smaller quantities, have all purchased Sputnik V vaccine for approximately $10. Why should Ghana pay more?
The committee members served notice it will hold the Minister of Health to provide further and better particulars on the purchase of the COVID vaccines.
The minority in Parliament would urge government to reconsider both terms of this contract with particular emphasis on price and work assiduously through proper diplomatic and approved channels to secure COVID-19 vaccines for Ghanaians. This contract is unconstitutional, null and void, and government should abrogate and refrain from making any payment with respect to this contract before laying the entirety of the contract before Parliament for scrutiny and subsequent approval.
As concerns over the non-availability of vaccine grow, there are possible fears of a third wave of COVID-19 infections, which may derail efforts by government to fight the disease.
Okay, still staying with these health issues, we've got on the phone line the national chairman of the Coalition of NGOs in Health, Mr. Bright Misa Nyako. Mr. Bright, very good evening and welcome to Newsnight.
Good evening, my brother, and good evening to your cherished viewers and listeners.
Thank you very much for your time. So, I want to hear from your side, from where you stand as an NGO in health, what you make of all these controversy as far as this purchases of this vaccine is concerned.
So thank you very much once again, my brother, and good evening again to your cherished viewers. On the side of the Ghana Coalition of NGOs in Health, the major civil society in the health sector, we are of the view that life-saving mechanism should be a priority to the country, and any amount set to buy us life should be approved. In the first place, we have to ask these questions: whether the vaccine in contention is efficacious and safe to be used in Ghana. And if we say yes, we are saying yes because it has passed the emergency use authorization. There were two vaccines, the AstraZeneca and the Sputnik V, that passed the two initial tests before J&J. So it means that our FDA has approved of the efficacy of this vaccine and it is safe for use. What that means is that it will be able to save lives in Ghana, and that is the first thing that should come to our mind. Now, the issue surrounding all this is about the cost. Yes, we might all agree that the manufacturing cost, they say, is $10, and then we are buying it for $19. What accounts for that? You and I would agree that if somebody is baking bread and then you are buying from the factory and it's being sold at 4 cedis, you will definitely not buy it at 4 cedis outside. So I agree to the manufacturing price as $10, but they are telling us that it is bought at the market at this much. For us, civil society, our major concern is we need the vaccines as we speak now in Ghana. So many people, over 600,000 people, have taken the AstraZeneca and are waiting for their second dose. That is a major concern to us. Now, there are outstanding 19 million people who are also waiting to take, so that the whole Ghana will be free because we are going to have herd immunity. To us, this is our major concern of getting ourselves protected. So if government can invest any sum of money to save the life of people of Ghana, we are all for it. Let's look at this scenario. If saving life is always more expensive than any other thing, then we must prioritize life saving on top of any other thing. If we build schools, we build hospitals, we buy machines, and the people are dying, but there's a means of getting these lives back through the vaccine. and the vaccines are going to cost us so much. I don't see anything wrong with us getting the vaccine. So if it is bought at a higher price, I see the argument of the minority that about 90% higher in addition to the manufacturing price. Yes, they have issues to raise and concerns to raise about that. But is it a clean buy? If it's a clean buy, then we should all go for it and protect the lives of our people, which is much better to me than any other concerns we might raise. When people are healthy and are working, we will be able to pay for all these things that we are talking about.
Mr. Nyako.
But when people are dying...
Mr. Nyako.
Yes. Hello?
So, from your end, do you have information on whether government has indeed gone ahead to make this purchase and whether value for money is being adhered to?
Our earlier advocacy issues and then our checks indicate that, yes, government has signed some form of agreement with the so-called third party to get the vaccines to Ghana. And to us, our major concern is having vaccines to vaccinate our people so that we have our health. We are protected against the virus. So if that is the move government has made, then we are for it. We are not against getting vaccines into the country.
Okay.
As to the cost issues, we now come back to interrogate it. And like I said, if it's a clean buy, we are all for it.
Okay.
If it is not, we have to open an investigation or an inquiry into it to look at where issues are raised.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Nyako, for speaking to us here at Newsnight. We are very grateful. We've been speaking to the National Chairman of the Coalition of NGOs in Health, Mr. Bright Emise Nyako. Stay with us. We'll be back. Now to other story. The Bremine Brofuyedru community in the Upper Denshaw West District of the Central Region is yet to come to terms with how a mining pit collapsed and killed 3 persons 2 weeks ago, including a 13-year-old girl, Fabetia, as part of Metro News' Galamsey series on the impact of Galamsey activities on mining communities dubbed Galamsey Impact. Metro News' Henry Kwesi Bedu spoke to the family of the girl and has the rest of the story.
13-year-old Fabetia is being laid to rest in the Brofuyedru community of the Central Region after she died in a Galamsey pit which collapsed 2 weeks ago. Her 25-year-old nursing mother, Yasantwa, painfully narrates how her daughter was engaged in a Galamsey activity that eventually killed her. According to her, her daughter was advised not to go to the site on that fateful day. Two other persons died from the pit collapse, and the community is still in shock and despair.
This is the Galamsey site that on May 26, 2021, caved in and allegedly killed 3 persons. According to reports that we heard earlier, claimed that about 40 persons were trapped beneath the rubble. An excavator was brought here on May 27 and also May 28 to try and remove some of the bodies that earlier reports claimed that they were beneath the rubble.
The site of the incident is almost deserted, with only few people here counting their losses. The Member of Parliament for the Upper Denshaw West constituency, Daniel Ohene Darko, and his team toured the site after the incident happened. He wants government to properly streamline the activities of illegal miners.
Government must do something about it. Try to regularize it. You know,
you're also part of the government.
You know, in the NDC manifesto, I'm sure you are aware of it. They said they were going to regularize it. by regularization, we were thinking of teaching them how to do it safely. Okay. That is what we meant by
that. Would be
for now. Else, look, no matter how many troops you bring here, it will not succeed.
So you think Operation What will not succeed?
Oh, we have had Operation Vanguard and name them. So many operations dating back to 2017. Galam Stop. What did we see? At the end of the day, they even picked the excavators, and the excavators got funding.
The assemblyman for the area, Francis Ejapon, said leaders of the community were not even aware there were people working on the site.
To be frankly, as I said, the site has been abandoned. So the people came to work here midnight, whereby you were asleep. Had it not been an incident.
But the reports that you were given, how long had they been working here?
For the in terms
of days, you wouldn't know.
For the number of days, I wouldn't know, because as at last week, I came to monitor. When you come here in the daytime like this, you don't see anybody working here. You don't see anybody working here. So they come in the night to feel and then work, because by then the farm, the owner of the land might be asleep, and then no security may be around. Okay. So when they come and work, and then they leave.
The residents pray the catastrophe never happens again. Henry Kwesi Bedu, Metro News, Breman Brofuyedru.
Such an unfortunate incident. You are watching News Night here on Metro TV. We go for a short break and we'll be back.
As a mother and wife, my priority is making sure my family is protected at all times. That is why I never forget to give my angel a Flora disposable handkerchief to keep germs and sweat at bay. When Habi is out in the fields, I'm rest assured of Flora coming in handy anytime he needs it. Even when my daughter Na is out late, I am confident Flora disposable handkerchief will be close enough to save the moment. Flora disposable handkerchiefs are my go-to disposable handkerchiefs any day, anytime, and everywhere. Flora disposable handkerchiefs is affordable and handy. Flora, better than cloth handkerchiefs. Flora is a product of Delta Paper Mill Limited. For inquiries and bulk purchases, call 0243 033 033.
Football pa and nothing high sense as sponsor Euro 2020 Edia Maono Nesa Sunti na Yatiti TV so say who Edia Maono a high sense Euro 2020 TV super promo can who brand new high sense TV and board that for pictures near clear na color near deep sound quality this so dear one it your high sense TV so dear entry power about down one access you are akona utusa barefoot. If it's 18th June, I copy 11th July. A Hisense Hero 2020 TV Super Promo. And my refuse Hisense and Kwan and my 5 years warranty. A Hisense Hero 2020 TV Super Promo. I cost to a Hisense showrooms. I want Ghana for Nanina. What you would Senyo? Hisense. Everyday prices for everyday people. Hisense. Official sponsor at the Hero 2020.
Welcome, still watching News Night on Metro Television. To other stories, the Jubilee House has gone green as President Akufo-Addo, together with other officials at the presidency earlier today, planted trees at the seat of government. Here's what transpired at the Jubilee House.
At the Jubilee House in Accra, this is where
the phone is with him now, okay?
Akufo-Addo planted his tree. The name of the tree is the Lithium Vitae, which implies that it is the tree of life. And according to scientists, It is used as a remedy for arthritis, for coughs, and syphilis.
Government is determined to restore the lost forest cover of our country. Indeed, we're doing so through a number of policy interventions. The attempt to regulate and sanitize the small-scale mining industry is one such to help keep our forest cover and reserves intact.
So in attendance was the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Jimakor.
This will be a yearly exercise with increases in the number of trees each Green Ghana Day, with the goal of 100 million trees being planted in a day, all within the second term of the Akufo-Addo presidency.
I also engaged former politician Reverend Joyce.
There are many initiatives that are important, but nothing can beat an initiative which increases the forest cover of Ghana.
Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and Chief of Staff Honorable Akosua Afrima Osei Opare also took part in the symbolic event. According to the CEO of the Forestry Commission, over 7 million seedlings have been distributed across the country.
As I speak today, we've sent out about 7 million, 40% more than the target. We'll also have a desk at the Forestry Commission where we'll have a dedicated line. So those who have planted, who need more information, when they call in, they'll be giving advice on what.
From the Jubilee House here in Accra, my name is Eugenia Akofakumi, reporting for Metro News.
Okay, so the ministry in charge of all this issue about Galamsey and how the nation can recover from the effect of it is the Lands and Natural Resources, and we are joined currently by the Deputy Minister, Benito Owusu-Bio, to help us speak to the tree planting exercise. Good evening to you, Honorable Benito.
Yes, good evening to you and to your listeners. But you forgot to add the Deputy Minister Designate, which is very important. As at now, I'm not a full Deputy Minister, so you have to mention that.
Understand, the plan is to plant 5 million trees. How many were planted today?
As at the end of the day, around 5, we have gone beyond 8 million trees.
Oh, wow.
But then, we went beyond 8 million trees by virtue of the fact that we had the faith-based institutions like the churches, the Pentecostal Church, the Presbyterian, the Catholic, the Anglican, the Methodist, and all the others coming on board. And you know, they were doing the big figures, and that has really helped us. So some of them have even planned to extend it to tomorrow and then on Sunday. So at the end of the day, we will be ending up beyond 10 million.
Mr. Bio, how will you rate the level of commitment of Ghanaians towards the Green Ghana project?
I would thank Ghanaians a lot, especially the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, for urging the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and our Honorable Minister to come up with an initiative to be able to help restore our degraded forest and our ecosystem. And I'm also happy that the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources heeded the call and took up this mantle to come up with such a laudable initiative. As we speak now, we thank Ghanaians from all over Ghana. The information that we've received from so far as half Asini to Gambaga to Wa to Tamale and Yandi and everywhere in Ghana is so laudable that we know that Ghanaians are responsible people, Ghanaians are law-abiding, Ghanaians are people who accept that there is the need for us to help to restore the ecosystem. And Ghanaians are people who also accept that sustainability and responsible management of our environment is important for all of us, for our survival. Yes, and so I cannot even fathom how I can thank Ghanaians for what has happened today.
That is great, of course.
As we speak now, it is raining now.
Honorable Benito.
Is it raining at your place?
Yeah, Honorable Benito, it's raining. Of course, like you said, the nation remains grateful. You are going beyond your target of 5 million, going to 10 million. But before we let you go, there is an environmentalist who is joining us to actually assess what exactly is happening on the side of government.
Can I please add something? Can I please add something before he comes on?
Okay. We'll come back to you. We'll come back to you.
Always, God blesses. Okay, you can come.
Okay, thank you so much. So we have an environmentalist, Obed Owusu, to help us speak to this subject also via Zoom. Hello, good evening to you, Obed, for joining us on Newsnight.
Hi, good evening.
Okay, I'm sure we've seen some of these exercises, not on the national level, but in schools and other organizations. Beyond what the government is doing, how can we sustain this so that the fight to get our nation green will be achieved?
Thank you very much. And I would want to add my voice to what Honorable Benito said. I think it's a great initiative that the President started. And I think what we need to know is that today was just a commemorative day. So today was a day that was just to showcase what has been done. And Honorable said that today, at the end of the day, we have planted 8 million. It didn't start only today. It has been going on for the past 2, 3, even a month ago when they started distributing the seedlings to schools, to churches, to individuals to plant. But more importantly, on the sustainability of the Green Ghana Day and also the trees that are planted. I think the Honorable Minister did indicate in his speech at the Flagstaff House that this will be an annual event. I think that is great to bring that awareness to tree planting. But I think it goes beyond just planting the tree. I think we should be looking at tree growing. You see, planting the tree alone doesn't indicate that the tree will be there in a year or 2 years or 3 years. But you need to develop a culture of protecting, of nurturing, of sustaining the trees that are planted. And so I think that should be the next focus for the ministry, to ensure that the trees that were put in the soil will be protected, will be nurtured, and will be taken care of for the years to come.
Thank you, Mr. Usadai. But Honorable Benito, after today's
yes, I'm here.
After today's tree planting, what next?
Yes, I would like to thank my minister, the Honorable Samuel Abu-Jinapor, for urging me on this particular project. But then the most important thing is also to thank the Almighty God, because as when we started this journey, one of our stakeholders, especially one of our chairpersons on one of our committees, that is the Honorable Dr. Joyce Ai, she mentioned to me that anybody who tries to protect God's creation and at the same time tries to add on to God's creation in terms of whether it being fauna, trees, whatever, is always blessed by God.
Yes.
And to the extent that that person would be able to achieve whatever the person is interested in doing. As we speak now, it is raining.
Yes.
You see, God has blessed today.
Yes.
God has blessed Ghana today.
Yes.
And God is telling Ghanaians that our initiative of planting trees today was a good cause, and that Ghanaians must not end today, and we must continue and add on, to be able to add on more, so that we will be able to reverse the trend of devastation in Ghana.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Benito. Thank you. Now moving on to other stories, the General Assembly of the United Nations has elected Ghana to serve a 2-year term on the UN Security Council. With 185 out of the 190 votes cast, the country obtained the highest number of votes compared to the 4 other member states that was elected, cementing a high standing for Ghana among the community of nations. There's more in this report.
Ghana's tenure on the Council is expected to focus on enhancing global peace and security for sustainable and inclusive development at the United Nations Security Council in order to seek for a stronger and deeper collaboration between the United Nations and regional bodies. In a statement issued by the Ministry of Information, Ghana is ready to play an instrumental role as a member of the Security Council to maintain peace and security as the Council upholds. The country is expected to work with Brazil, the United Arab Emirates, Albania and Gabon to undertake a comprehensive approach and commitment to resolve post-conflict reconstruction and multilateralism, advocate for implementation of the actions and strengthen partnership between the United Nations and its continental and regional organization. Meanwhile, the Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Shirley Ayoko Botwe, who voted on behalf of the country, has expressed gratitude to ECOWAS and the African Union for endorsing the country's candidacy.
You're still watching News Night on Metro Television. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back with more news.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural.
You're perfectly fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
The right insurance means that you can get the medical help you need whenever you need it.
You're okay.
No, I doubt.
With Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, you can get up to 80 Ghana cedis worth of insurance per night for up to 40 nights with just a premium of 5 Ghana cedis. All you have to do is dial *110# to access your Vodafone Cash menu, select financial services and follow the prompts to pay for your insurance wherever, whenever. Simple as that. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care, our concern.
Welcome back from that break. Up next is Business with Winston.
Thank you, Ethel and Nana Entry. I bring you business tonight on News 9. My name is Winston Taki, bringing you also information that has to do with the tree planting exercise ongoing today across the nation. And now to our first story. As Ghana plans to plant 5 million trees to green the nation, we take a look at some of the activities that contribute to the depletion of the country's forest reserves. One of such is the cutting of some species of trees for the production of pestles used traditionally for pounding fufu. Metro News got closer to the producers of the pestle And here is more on it.
A visit to the production site revealed a number of different types of wood species being worked on to produce pesos. How to get the final product, the producers say, is an arduous task. Nana Akoto, a peso craftsman, says tree species including Yoi, Isa and Danta, which are usually brought from Seshi in the western north region, are used in the production. The price of pesos ranges from 10 Ghana cedis to 25 cedis for an average size, while the large sizes, which are usually used by chobas and eateries, are sold between 100 Ghana cedis to 150 Ghana cedis. Speaking to Metro News, peso producers lament that the introduction of the fufu pounding machines has negatively affected their businesses.
Odi machine phone odi dia di wamanu wono a difference wo machine phone odi si okaka na asai ayefutu e ma yare na so anyhow nti e na mo for machine phone dey.
On the debate on using the fufu pounding machine instead of the local pestle and mortar, the Eastern Regional Director of Environmental Protection Agency, Felix Aduchire, advised pestle manufacturers to venture into large-scale tree planting in order to produce on a large scale, in line with the preference of many Ghanaians.
We need to have a woodlot for this kind of species. I mean the Isa and then the Yoi trees and the other one. We can have a large tract of land, we plant them, and then we can harvest them for.
Now moving on, the Ghana Railway Development Authority has organized a stakeholder engagement thereby with the chiefs and people of Ekwemu in the eastern region to reveal how the completion of the Tema and Pakadan rail route will bring economic benefit to the people. The Chief Executive Officer of the authority, Yao Owusu, speaking at the Deba, said trading activities along the stretch will boost activities and also bring development in that area.
Their harvest to major market centers. It will also create job opportunities for the youth of Akomo. And also, most importantly, we can set up some commercial centers along the railway line to create jobs, factories for the community. It's very important to note that this line is the beginning of the interconnectivity railway project between Ghana and Burkina Faso. The line is also part of the intermodal transport network in Ghana, and therefore the Ministry of Railway Development and the Ghana Railway Development Authority, in collaboration with the Ministry of Transport, will continue to explore many economic and business avenues to optimize the use of this huge investment to support the overall transformation of Ghana's economy.
Now let's bring you an update from the interbank market and how the cedi is performing against major currency and also commodity prices on the global market. Now that'll be it for business here on News 9. Back to Nana, Entry and Eto for the rest of the news.
Thank you very much, Winston. Up next will be sports.
Masa, jam Maria, I'm kind of coffee. I am no more budget born jam. Have a beer, you can. HD logo the bottom. Wait, you say HD local channels na mo. As a picture near clear. You 5 times better. As other channels that could be your hormone. So the good mention when I'm right away. Oh, what a pictures. What a picture. What do AD plus decoder or multi TV and now Electroland agent PR natural local channels now HD the here's of better star 879 hash numbers from Kubo box and now the advert AD channels now. You can
get an HD Plus decoder from now till the 9th of August for just 89.99 Ghana cedis and enjoy 3 months free subscription. Enjoy all the excitement and live sports action in the HD Plus Air Bosso Fili promo. Promo lasts from 7th June to 9th August 2021. Visit hd-plus.com.gh or call 024-243-9872 for more info.
Half a nose for good things.
Welcome back. This is still News Night on Metro Television. Remember, our bulletin is live on Facebook and YouTube. We are still on DSTV channel 277. I have the man Johnny in studio to bring us sports.
Hello, my brother.
Hi, Johnny.
We'll be talking about the Ghana Premier League. There's wonderful scenes in the city of Paris as the French Open drops to a conclusion. Then we have European football right here. Up next, we're bringing the latest in sports. My name is Feo John Quarte. Week 29 of the Ghana Premier League kickoff in the central region as Elmina Shark grabbed all 3 points against 11 Wonders.
Ganiu gets back to Oleno Ashite, but not troubling Wonders at the moment now. Abbas Ganiu, this time is going to count. Hang on to the ball, tee up his man. The ball comes in the outside of the foot. Lovely first touch, shows great strength to get in front.
So 2-1 ended in favor of the Homesteads, that is Elmina Shark. Let's see the fixtures of week 29 now.
This is our own, let's cherish our own. Ghana Premier League is back again. I say this is our own, let's cherish our own. Division 1 League is back again. This is our own, let's cherish our own. Ghana Premier League is back again.
Let's go to Rome now, because after several weeks of preparation amidst COVID-19, the European Football Championship has finally kicked off with Manchester stations. The Azzurris of Italy are currently engaging their Turkish counterpart at the Stadio Olimpico. We've been told that the results for now is goalless involving the two teams. Let's go to Paris now, because Stefanos Tsitsipas became the first Greek player to qualify a Grand Slam final. He beats Alexander Zverev in a 5-straight-set final. Quite interesting over there. He will either play Novak Djokovic or Rafael Nadal in the finals. So there you have it. Stefanos Tsitsipas becomes the first Greek player to qualify for a Grand Slam final. He will either play Novak Djokovic or Rafael Nadal in the finals of the French Open. That's sports. My name is Feo John Quarte. Back to Nana Eneta for the rest of the news.
Thanks very much, John. We have more news still coming up on News Night, and we take this story from our areas at Nsawam, where we are told pupils at Mofra Juma community and the Nsawam Adrojiri community risk drowning in an important bridge which connects the school and the community. Pupils, their parents and teachers in terrified states are calling for an urgent attention to fix the bridge, which they believe will help them be protected. We have more of this story when we come on your way at 9 for our Community Watch program.
The absence of a bridge in the Mofra-Fadwin community in the Sawam-Edwardri municipality of the Eastern region has been a major challenge to residents for years. It's always a terrifying situation for the over 80 pupils of the community each time they have to cross this dilapidated makeshift bridge to and through the only basic school in the area.
I feel so scared.
You feel scared?
Yes, because last time me and my sister was crossing the bridge and my sister fell into the water, so I feel so sad. Please, I want them to come and correct the bridge for us because the bridge is so terrible. One of the last time, me and my friend was crossing the bridge. He fell into the stream. I felt so sad. One of the last time, the rain was coming and it covered the bridge. Oh.
We have one school in the community, the only school in the community, and because the bridge is broken, children are not able to go to school. There's a population of about 80, 90 students in the school, children in the school, but when it rains, only about 20 or 10 show up, which is very disturbing. Mothers are scared, children are scared to cross this bridge, and it's been a struggle. Today we are very terrified because it's about to rain. It's rained already. It will rain again, and we are in the raining season. So the situation will be getting worse, and we are very, very concerned. We are very, very worried.
We had to pause the interviews at this moment because it was just about raining. The incomplete concrete and makeshift wood bridges are self-help projects by the community members. They appeal to authorities and humanitarian organizations to support them to complete the bridges.
Oh. You're watching Metro News Night here on Metro TV. Up next is entertainment with Harriet.
My name is Harriet and this is Entertainment News on News Night. There's more after this. The Ghana Tourism Authority has asked various operators of cinemas and theatres to apply for permits before they will be allowed to reopen. The directive is part of the authority's plans on reopening of cinemas and theatres across the country.
Ghana Tourism Authority has released a list of operational guidelines for cinemas and theatres after announcing government's plan to ease restrictions. Cinema and theatre operators have been asked to apply for a permit before they will be allowed to open their doors. According to the GTA, this permit will be given to the businesses after a team of inspectors assess the facility to ensure measures are put in place to ensure compliance with the safety protocols. The guidelines have been placed under about 12 categories, including entrance and exit protocols, ticketing, in-hall protocols, among others. The establishment are also to train in-house agents who will be responsible for COVID-19 protocols. Also, operators are expected to seek approval from the GTA if they intend to host a movie premiere. Among other things, they are to ensure social distancing, regular disinfection of the interior of the cinema hall or theater, showing movies or dramas with 2-hour duration and mandatory checking of temperature. They are also to display a no mask, no entry sign to ensure the mandatory wearing of face masks before entry and upon entry at all times, and display of notification "Go for your COVID-19 vaccine" at the entrance. GTA stated that a team will be tasked to constantly ensure enforcement of the guidelines. However, any establishment that fails to comply with the operational guidelines will have their permit to operate withdrawn.
Tyler Perry is resurrecting his Madea character after a very short retirement. The revered filmmaker recently confirmed that the fan favorite character will be returning on Netflix.
The 51-year-old media mogul will write, direct and star in the upcoming film A Madea Homecoming, which will debut on Netflix in 2022. It will be shot entirely in Atlanta at the Tyler Perry Studios. Perry announced the big news earlier this week with a video on Instagram of him hilariously slipping in and out of his Madea voice.
Hey, guess what's happening? Okay, I want to take I want to take that. Sorry. Madea. This is Tyler Perry saying, this is Madea saying I'm coming back and I'm on Netflix. I can't wait to take it so guys out. Damn it, hey.
Madea's return to screens comes a few years after Perry shocked fans with the news that the character will be retiring after a 2-decade run. Madea first appeared in Perry's 2005 hit movie Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Madea is a character created and portrayed by Tyler Perry and is described as a tough elderly African-American woman. Madea is based on Perry's mother and his aunt. For a supposed final run, the Daredevil grandma appeared in 2019's A Madea Family Funeral, followed by the sold-out 2020 Madea's Farewell Tour.
The hell I am? I know. Hell no.
That's it for entertainment news on Newsnight. My name is Harriet Addy. Over to you, Ethel and Nana Chum.
Thank you. Now, coming up is international news. Please stay with us.
Okay, so the G7 summit has started in Cornwall with UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson urging fellow leaders to build back better the world to recover from the COVID-19 pandemic.
Now, U.S. President Joe Biden is among those being hosted by Mr. Johnson for the 3-day meeting, as well as leaders of France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and Canada.
That we don't repeat the mistake of the last great crisis, the last great economic recession in 2008, when the recovery was not uniform across all parts of society. And I think what's gone wrong with this pandemic, or what risks being a lasting scar, is that I think that inequalities may be entrenched. And we need to make sure that as we recover, we level up across our societies and we build back better. And I actually think that we have a huge opportunity to do that, because as G7, we are united in our vision for a cleaner, greener world, a solution to the problems of climate change. And in those ideas, in those technologies, in which we're all addressing together, I think there is the potential to generate many, many millions of high-wage, high-skill jobs. And I think that is what the people of our countries now want us to focus on. They want us to be sure that we're beating the pandemic together and discussing how we'll never have a repeat of what we've seen, but also that we're building back better together.
That'll be all for Newsnight today, but before we go, let's look at our top stories.
Minority MP to Hall Minister of Health in the Parliament over claims of government's plan to purchase the Sputnik V vaccine through middlemen and other irregular sources, as we heard from the coalition of NGOs in health.
In the third episode of our Galamsey Impact series, we heard from a distraught family whose 13-year-old daughter perished together with 2 others after a mining pit caved in at Breman Bofuedu in the central region.
And business pistol producers lament over the introduction of the fufu pounding machine, which they say is negatively driving them out of business.
In the world of sports, European Football Championship is underway. We brought you updates in the opening match between Italy and Turkey.
On the international front, G7 summit commences in Cornwall with UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson urging fellow leaders to build a better world as the world recovers from the COVID-19 pandemic.
Thank you very much for staying with us today. My name is Ethel Poplampo.
My name is Nana Yawenchi. Good night.